Hi y'all, got a quick tip video. I did one of these several years ago, but it's been a while and I've had a reason to make another one. But bottom line is I'm going to show you how to make a bore brush to clean your Morse taper. It's critically important that you keep your Morse tapers clean because they're designed to have two finely machined surfaces mate 100%, both on your quill, on your tailstock, as well as the spindle on your headstock. So I'm going to make another one. The reason I'm making this is I'm making one for my club. It's got several lathes and I do several workshops up there. So basically we're just putting a handle. We bought a bronze bore brush. Here's a close-up of it. You can see what it looks like. And we're just going to turn a simple handle. Now I'm rather frugal and my wife, let me do a close-up of this. Several years ago my wife broke a handle on a hairbrush. And so I made her one, and then she gave it back to me and says, I don't need this anymore. I don't know whether it's wore out or whatever, but anyhow, the original handle was wooden, so I made her a handle. So I thought I'd just reuse that same handle, so I just sawed it off, threw that one in the garbage. Now we're just going to drill a little hole for this bronze bore brush. So to figure out what size hole, I'm using a drill hole guide. This, I use this a lot, very handy, and I just try to do a trial fit till I find one that will fit. And it looks like 5/16 is going to be pretty close, so we're going to try 5/16. So we're just going to drill a 3/4 inch hole, 3/4 inch deep. We get this speed up to no more than 1,000, and I'm going to ease this in here. Then I'm just going to use the laser markings on the quill here and go in 3/4 inch. That and 3/4, and that ought to do it. And then let's see if it fits. And it looks like it's going to be a nice snug fit. A little epoxy at the bottom ought to hold it. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean up the front of this thing so it looks a little nicer and be even. And I'm going to handle that by taking out the Jacob's chuck, use a comb center, bring that up. And the handle's a little big, so I'm going to take it down just a little bit. So I'm going to use my spindle gouge. I'm going to get it up to 1800 or so, and I'm just going to round this over a little bit, like that. I don't think I'm going to mess with these beads, they're already there. I'm just going to take it down behind that, because this is where it's too big. Really doesn't matter what the shape is. Maybe I'll go for something a little more shaped like this. Let's set that down. So actually I'm going to take these down here as well. Back down here and make a bit of a cone. Come down here. Designed to be a work of art, just a little functional little spindle turning, little handle. I think we're going to call that good. I'm not going to bother to decorate it anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm not even. Ooh, I got some pretty rough edges. Let me try to get a little bit smoother cut there. Slow the feed rate down, that is, move it a little slower. When you get to the bottom of the cove, you've got to come in from the other direction. Make this little Bradford pear. back of the tool, ride the bevel, lift it until the bevel rubs, and then just kind of use it almost like a skew with a little bit of a planing cut. And we're probably going to touch it up with just a little bit of sandpaper here. Turn and whirl. That's pretty much it. Let me show you how I held it in the chuck. Well, let's see. I'm going to round over that edge, that front edge, just a little bit more. Just roll it over. Doesn't need a ferrule because it's not going to get a lot of lateral action, not under any pressure. It's not a turning tool, so it really doesn't need a ferrule. So let's take it out. Let me show you. I'm actually holding it in the center of the jaws, not the actual jaws itself, but the little hole in the middle in an area like that. And you know, it made it a little bit misshapen, but it didn't matter. This is just something to hold this in here. So I'm going to mix up a little epoxy, cram it down in there, and then we're going to be good to go. For more lathe maintenance videos, you might want to click on the playlist here on lathe maintenance. And just remember, y'all stay safe. Come on back here.